All right, today we're going to paint our abstract designs. You guys are going to get little paintbrushes and a little container of paint. So I'm gonna give you guys different colors as we move on, but with this paint, this is watercolor paint. You just wanna dip the tip of your brush into the paint, and this color is kind of a pink color. So I wanna think about where I'm gonna paint that color inside those shapes. When we paint with watercolor, we just slowly pull the paint. I'm not going back and forth quickly because I want to make sure that I get that paint slowly kind of put on my paper and filled in those spaces. So if I finish with one and I have time, I can go back and maybe make it a little bit darker, or if I have another space that I want to put a little bit of that color, I can put that color somewhere else. Maybe I want to put a little bit right here. Maybe I just want to leave that part pink. Sometimes if you think about the color of your crayon, thinking about painting on top of it with a different color. So I think that looks good for now. And I'll give you a few minutes with each color. Just set the paintbrush on the little tray and I will switch the colors for you. And the next color you use, you'll paint with a different area. So I'm just gonna dip the tip of my brush into that paint. I'm going to think about what color that paint would look good. With the crayon resists the watercolor paint, so you can kind of see right here, it's resisting where the crayon is, which looks really cool. All those textures that we used with the crayon, you can see clearly now. When I get my paintbrush a little bit dried out, you can see my paintbrush is happy. If your paintbrush looks like this in a point, that means it's happy. If it gets kind of fanned out and it gets dried out, it's not very happy. So every time I go back with my paintbrush, I want to make sure it's happy. That way it's going to be a nice painting for me. You can see my paintbrush is still happy. I'm almost done with this section. Give you guys about 4 or 5 minutes with each color. And then when you're finished, the whole thing should be painted in. And we'll talk about what it looks like when you're completely finished and what you need to do, because we want to be safe. I might think about I paint a little bit on top of this color that I just painted. That's kind of interesting. Painted green on top of my pink. I'm not sure if I like that, but that's okay. I can try something different. Ooh, this one looks really pretty. I'm painting over this part over here with this green, and you can see the red crayon coming through now. The messy mats are not quite big enough for your paper, so just try to get your paint just on your paper, not on the messy mat. And then when you're finished, you'll raise your hand and I will come get your painting.